Good afternoon, people in podcast world. This is Fully Dressed, and I'm your co-host, Bruce Duck Simonis, and this here is Brett Star Rookies Starkey. We are here to discuss current events and things in the news, things that pique our interest and hopefully yours. And we're going to try to keep this short and sweet. We've been trying to keep it under 30 minutes.
It's Friday.
Oh, yeah, it's Friday. How about that? And happy weekend, everybody. And I'm going to have a sneeze. Excuse me. All right. So let's get things started. And Ricky's is up first. So
What?
You're up first. So
Okay.
Are you ready?
I suppose.
This is what piqued his interest, at least today or this week. So here we go.
This kind of irritated me because a friend of mine on Facebook posted this, and I want to agree with her. And she's a hardcore liberal, so let's play this.
She says she was detained by ICE agents overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them no, I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizenat video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human? One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
Watson says budget trucks and military-style vans were used to separate parents from their children. Other neighbors say they saw agents destroying property to get in the building.
And they had a big 15-inch chainsaw with a round blade on it, cutting this fence down. We're under siege. We're being invaded by our own military.
The FBI did confirm this morning that they did help the U.S. Border Patrol carry out a targeted immigration enforcement operation in this area, and they say they have been supporting these efforts at the direct. She lives in this building, and she says she was detained by.
Now, that's a problem. I don't argue that. That's a problem. But that was a side of the story. Now, the only defense that I have is Chicago is in Illinois, where Governor Pritzker is not allowing the local police, state police, to support ICE. That's why Trump wants to bring the National Guard into Illinois to assist ICE. Pritzker and their Democrat left don't want federal assistance.
We don't need it.
So
after 55 people were shot so far this week in Chicago.
So that was raiding an apartment complex and detaining people by ICE agents. Okay, I can see a side of there are issues. Now I didn't dig in deep enough to see how many people were arrested that were illegal. I didn't find the cumulative total of what they found. But
or
seeing that video,
or what was the reason for them to target that particular?
I'm sure they had reason to believe that there were illegal immigrants there.
I was too. And like, if you are going into a place like that, and this is how I feel about it, you don't know who is who. So you detain everyone until you get the correct information. And then once you're deemed to be not involved or not the person of interest, then you're released. I am okay with that because if they're looking for somebody who is dangerous, they don't know who's associated with it. And me personally, like, take them all, then release them accordingly. And that way, you know for a fact that you get the person you're after. So,
Okay.
I mean, I do
Now,
think it's kind of crazy what's going on right now, but we wouldn't be doing this if the radical left wasn't holding back and not allowing for their local enforcement officers to help them and to assist them what they're doing. They wouldn't have to go in like a crazy attack zone, but that's what is being brought to. So both sides are wrong in a sense, but I would stick with the way they did it personally.
all right. Now let's look at another perspective here. Pull up that screen.
I don't see one, sir.
Oh my goodness. I shall correct that immediately.
And what part of Chicago was this?
Not sure.
Okay.
Not sure. All right. This is a long video. I might skip forward a little bit. Let's see what this guy has to say. You can see down here, illegals seize Chicago apartments, deportation troops show invaders no mercy. Just raided the Chicago apartment complex where multiple units were taken over by Trende Aragua gang. Well, now that kind of sheds a different light on it than we saw from that news broadcast.
Right. And if you remember back in the spring when they took over that apartment complex out in like Colorado Springs, Colorado, or Aurora, Colorado, and then the mayor said something about, well, it's not as bad as you think. And then the lady from MSNBC or CNN, she was like, it's only one or two apartment complexes. So it was like only one or two. I think a 0.1% of one is too much. So it's only one or two complexes. Like I live in Orlando. Our complexes have thousands of units, thousands. So I'm like, what if they just took over one or two here? Do we just ignore it and be like, well, it's only one or two?
Yep.
There's 4,000 to 8,000 people that live there. Whatever, sacrificial lambs. We can just let it go because it's only one or two. Like,
let's see what Cash Jordan says about this.
ICE just raided a Chicago apartment complex taken over by Venezuelan gang members.
Hey, I'm Allie Bradley with News Nation, and we're out here going after several Trende Aragua members. All these guys have been rehearsing for days to make this operation go off without a hitch. So we'll see what we end up finding today.
Oh, are they cutting in to the back of the building here through that fence? Oh, that's crazy. Look how many soldiers there are. This is nuts. Apparently, they arrested so many people in this apartment building that they needed multiple U-Hauls to complete this operation.
Yeah, haul them away.
Is there somebody in there right now? What's that noise? They're dragging something out of there. Oh.
He is walking.
Who we got here? Number 22. In white, and his friend in a tank top. Look at these guys. Oh, they got some other people against the wall, too. Huh. Oh, it's got a Michael Jordan tattoo. These guys are definitely Trende Aragua members. I wonder what they were up to here in America. Seeking the American dream? I doubt it.
Let's jump forward a little bit.
Huh? Yeah, bro. I guess we're getting a free plane ticket home. Look at this character.
All right, a little
So
bit
they got these.
further.
It means a non-permissive environment. Anytime there's a non.
Do you hear that? According to the Border Patrol chief, this apartment complex in Chicago, where we are told there is no gang problem, there is no crime problem, is a non-permissive environment. That's what happens when you become a sanctuary city. The whole place is a non-permissive environment.
Permissive environment, Allie. The stress level goes up for everyone.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
We all want to come home at the end of shift, but we also are going to accomplish that mission. So merging.
Thank God we got people like this,
especially from a leadership perspective, and that's what I'm looking at right now.
Watch what magnesium does to.
So,
two sides. Who you believe?
Completely two different sides. Well, I'm watching them arrest people, and court documents are going to show who they are. It's not like they can just, like the left wants to say, disappear them. They're
They
on
should be
video.
disappeared. You are here illegally. A. B. You are a danger and a menace to our society. Get out.
Nicaragua.
Take them away. They have zero. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I want to say couth, but morals. They don't have any. It's almost like they're dead inside. They don't care about nothing. I've read about this gang for years when Trump targeted them and said they were a terrorist organization. Like, they kill for fun. So if I or somebody I knew or loved was in one of those apartment complexes, I'm like, take them all. And if you don't ship them out here immediately, then we got problems. What I don't understand in those situations, in those cities and towns and states, that the people keep electing these crazy asses that keep allowing this to happen. So at some point, do you say, we're not coming to help anymore because you keep allowing this to take place? So either allow us to do something about it or quit asking for help. But then you have to say,
But quit asking for what kind of help? You mean financial money?
That or support from police officers. It's the same ones who say defund the police. When something goes down, they call the police. Somebody broke into my house. They call the police, but I don't want to fund the police. It's like, you can't have it both sides. And people like Mayor Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, we don't need help. We don't have a problem. The people that live in those areas that are governed by those people, and you hear a lot of it. So again, you can only believe so much. Like that first video, it's like a military takeover. We didn't ask for this. But then you listen to other outlets and they're like begging for help. So which side do you believe? Which side do you lean on? I want to believe that the people are asking for help, and then that your leadership that you have elected again has failed you. Before this guy, Lori Lightfoot, massive failure. Before her, that Indian guy, I can't remember his name, who's now running for, I believe he's going to run for president. Rahm Emanuel, like failure. But you keep electing these people to come in and take care of your cities and your towns, knowing, like Brandon Johnson came in and he was radical from the beginning, going, I'm defunding the police. There is no need for prisons. There's no need for jail, all this kind of crap. And you elected him anyway. And now your city is in shambles, which is what's going to happen in New York City. Watch that city come to its knees. It will be 6 months, and they're going to rue the day. But you idiots out there keep doing this kind of crazy stuff. And when you ask for a bailout, I don't think we should give it. I say,
I think the solution is going to come down to complete the illegal immigration process that the Trump administration is doing right now. Round up the criminals, remove them from the country. And then I don't think we need to build more prisons. I think we need to build mental institutions. And people that are mentally incapacitated for whatever reason, we don't need to give them a check and a prescription and put them on the street. We need to put them in against their will into a mental institution where they're cared for. I want them taken care of. I don't care, cameras, however you want to do it.
But it needs to be a massive lockdown facility. It can't be you just walk away one day because there's not enough guards or a high enough fence or whatever. It needs to be built like a prison.
Well, yeah,
you get some
but easy with the fireworks. I think we need to care for the mentally impaired.
I agree, but you can't put away Hannibal Lecter into a regular mental hospital and expect them to contain him. And
again, we're going to extremes. The Hannibal Lecters should be in prison, not in a mental institution.
But there's the guy that stabbed the girl in the neck in Charlotte had been arrested 14 times. There was another guy had been arrested 39 times that in South Carolina broke into this girl's apartment, shot her in the head, stole her credit cards, went out on a shopping spree because he was arrested 39 times. 29 of those 39 times were felonies. And in over a 10-year course, he spent less than 600 days in jail for 29 felonies. So the problem, A, is the people, whatever makes them tick to do those things. And then the second problem, which I think could be even a bigger problem, is the people that let them out. Like,
I think that's the bigger problem. I agree. I think everybody is free until they break the law. When they break the law, they pay the consequences, whatever those are. If they are mentally impaired, if there's a mental issue and they need psychological help, then we provide them psychological help. But if they go on to the street and quit taking their meds and they revert right back to the same problem that they were to begin with, we can't allow that to keep happening. So you're going to have to be locked up, and we'll medicate you and we'll take care of you. But you can't be on the street because you infringe on people's rights to freedom.
yeah, if you, it's such bullshit, because if not what you're saying, but this whole mess, because if what is the line? And I say this as a father of 3. Is it 1 arrest, 3 arrests, 10 arrests? At what point do you say you're locked up permanently? Because if my child were one of those victims, like, how does your life go on? I cannot fathom how they are so pro-criminal. And I know there's a mental issue going on right now, which this country's leadership has helped facilitate and help push. And I think the lockdown really screwed people up, and I think that they knew that. It's about control, and it just pisses me off that you can just willy-nilly go as you please. When we were kids, not kids, teenagers, early 20s or whatever, like, I feared being pulled over by the police. If I was out having a beer or smoking a joint or anything, when a cop pulled up behind me, I got nervous. Even if I wasn't doing anything or had anything in the car, I was still nervous as hell because I was afraid. Now it's almost like a joke because they know, arrest me. Why do I care? I'll be out before you finish the paperwork. It doesn't matter what I did. I can do anything. Apparently, I can commit multiple felonies and I'll be released in a little bit. Like, you won't even back in your car yet, and I'll be outside waiting on you. So it's just a freaking joke. Thankfully, I live in Florida where FAFO, and they don't take that kind of crap. You screw up here, you're getting locked up, and you may never see daylight again. So, sorry, my eye is bothering me. I apologize. But anyway, that's my feelings on that. Sorry to rant.
No, good. That was my story. That's one that so many things are going on that just have me completely frustrated with the left versus right divide, because you get one set of facts on the left and another set of facts on the right. The set of facts on both sides are correct. They're both correct facts, because in that first video we saw, everything they said was legitimate. They just left out a whole bunch of facts.
Remember what Mom used to say to us every time we come home hammered or something? And she would say, boys, there's 2 sides to every story, and then there's the truth.
Yep.
And I'd be like, oh,
my grandmother,
we're innocent. But she's all the time. I heard that so many times out of her. I was like, damn, she got me dead to rights. Oh, that crazy ass woman. I loved her so much.
Yes, she was.
Loved her so much. All right. So before I bring this up, before I add this to the stage here, We all realize and know that the government is on a partial shutdown currently. I think this is day 3 or 4. And it's a shame. And I don't want to say it's a political stunt, but it is 1,000% a political move by Chuck Schumer, because I feel like he is threatened by AOC, threatening to primary him next year or in 28. And he's been in politics for 50 years. He's been a big deal in politics for a lot of those years and not a big deal for some of those years. But here, most recently, he's been a big deal to that side. And this bill that he is refusing to sign right now is exactly the same bill they voted on in March and they approved. And he went out against some of his party members and pissed them off. And he's agreed to the things. And now they refuse to. And in 2019, when people were lining up to run for president, everyone on the Democratic stage during the debate, the moderator asked, how many of you, by a show of hands, plans on including in your budget money for medical coverage, or insurance coverage, or whatever you want to call it, health care for illegal immigrants?
Medicare and Medicaid, government funded.
Every one of them raised their hands.
Yeah, a couple of them a little slowly after they saw everybody else do it.
All it is, they did it, and now they're saying that because the new bill, this new funding thing is like, we're not going to add that in. You're not getting it. So now they're all standing in unity, like, we're not signing this bill.
Well, let's clarify that. This is a continuing resolution that they did 6 months ago, and they won't do the continuing resolution as is. They're trying to throw in, the Democrats, over $1 trillion worth of more spending, which does include state funding, that the states are going to fund the Medicaid from the state without the limitations of being a citizen of the United States. So that kind of encapsulates the entire thing, but then they take little talking points and say the Republicans want to cut out Medicare and Medicaid for everybody. Your insurance rates are going to go up. Your insurance rates aren't going to go up until January 1st, by the way. They're saying that this continuing resolution would cause the insurance rates to go up. Insurance rates aren't going to be decided till January, and this is just a continuing resolution to get done by the end of the year. Go ahead.
In places like California, and I say this because this was an example that I was stuck on yesterday, because Gavin Newsom says, we're not paying for illegal immigrants Medicaid and Medicare, but what they're doing is they're incentivizing the hospitals to take in these illegals at no charge for any of their healthcare issues, and then they're being incentivized financially to do that. So in a sense, they're paying for it, just not openly about like, oh, here's this for you, Jose, here's this for you, Antonio, or whatever.
And the bottom line,
they're paying for it.
It doesn't matter who you are. If you go into an emergency room with an emergent condition, you're going to be treated.
And that's the case right now. If I didn't have insurance and I walked into a hospital and I needed medical care, they're going to give it to me.
And if you were an illegal that was in a car wreck and taken to the emergency room, you would be treated.
Right. They're not going to throw you out because you don't have coverage or you're illegal. But they're trying to give them immediate health care. Like, what about the citizens of this country that go without? How about that? And here's another example, and I don't know, this is not, I guess, associated directly with this medical thing, but I was at Walmart today, and I don't like to use the self-checkout lines. So I go through the main line. Well, it's the first of the month, so that means everybody and their brother or sister was inside of Walmart. Massively filled carts. So I live in Kissimmee, and I'm the minority by far. So I'm in line. There are 4 or 5 people in front of me. Every one of them has a government issued card that they ring up all their food and they say $300. They take the card, tap it, be like, that'll be $64. All 3 or 4 people in front of me had this card. None of them spoke English. The two directly in front of me, I had to do their debit card for them and show them what to do because they couldn't read the screen because it was in English. So we're paying for that. And as a man of a family and kids and a wife, if I was in another country, I would do whatever I could to get my family here because this is the greatest country on the earth and the place you would want to be for success of any kind, whether it be in your family or whatever. I would want to be here too. But when we take care of other people's people versus taking care of our own, I think we have a huge problem. And I'm not anti anybody. I don't blame them for wanting to be here. Go through the process, do it the right way, because you're then taken away from others who do it the right way, and then from us that live here. My taxes are higher, although I'm in Florida, so it's definitely better than most states, but it's still, how much of my taxes are going to something like this? How much is my rent higher because of things like this? How it's out of control because we have tried so hard to be so politically correct and so in unity with everybody that we forget about who we are. And I don't think I should be shamed for being pro-America and America first. And I will be America first today, tomorrow, and from now on. And I don't mean anything disrespectful to anyone. But if it's between me and you that are here illegally, I'm picking me and my family first. And I don't give a damn what somebody says. And if you're here illegally, you are breaking the law. And you should be.
I don't have a family, so I stick on the side of U.S. citizens versus illegal immigrants.
Okay, so that's my piece about that. So here's what I want to discuss today. So here we go. So in Dearborn, Michigan, this is the most current thing that they are going through right now is the mosque in Dearborn are every day, I believe it's 3 times a day, they do a call to prayer. It starts at 5:30 in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this back down. We're not going to read all of it, but I'll tell you what it says is they get on the loudspeakers and they from their mosque and they start announcing over the loudspeakers throughout the city that it's time for prayer. And
that's 5 daily obligatory prayers.
So they all go out into the road or wherever they're at. They block the streets, block traffic, whatever, and they do their prayer. This woman is like a quarter of a mile, half a mile away, and she hears it like it's inside of her home. That's how loud these speakers are. Now, mind you, Dearborn, Michigan is the highest Muslim population of any town or city in the United States of America. Most of their city council, I want to say all their city council members are Muslim. The mayor is Muslim. Most of the police force is Muslim. Last month, they tried to put a Muslim patch on the police uniforms until it was deemed inappropriate.
I saw that.
Not sanctioned. And then last year, they had a rally in the streets of Dearborn, Michigan, inside the United States of America, where they were chanting, "Death to America, death to the Jews," and Allah Akbar in Dearborn, Michigan. And then 2 weeks ago, they tried to name a street in Dearborn after a Muslim extremist, and a local preacher went to the city council meeting and argued against it. And they told him that Christians weren't wanted in that town and that white people weren't wanted in that town. And the day that him and the rest of them like him moved out of the town, they were going to have a parade and celebration of them leaving their town. So
I wish you had a video of that because I'd like to see that confirmed.
Oh, it's confirmed. I will find it.
Okay, I'm not doubting you. I'm being an audience member now.
And Gretchen Whitmer stood silent. And I want to say that that rally was when she was, I think, attempting to run for president before the election. And that's one of the things that made her bow out, was because of her unwillingness to deal with that kind of issue. But this is the United States of America. We're about to elect, not we, those crazy asses in New York City, a communist socialist mayor of probably one of the most important cities in the world, not just our country, but in the world. You watch how fast that city crumbles. That was such a great city, and you like the likes of Bill de Blasio, and now you're going to put in someone like Mamdini, and then you have Kathy Hochul, or Hochul, whatever her name is, that has no balls and will not say or do anything about it. And all these people that are voting for this, you all are insane. That city is going to crumble. It will be worse than Chicago because it's more important than Chicago. And then there's a town in Texas. It is... I think it's in Collin County, Texas. They are trying to instill Sharia law. And they have such a high number of Muslims in that town, in that county, that they're trying to put it on the ballot to vote it into place in Texas. So I think we don't hear about this on mainstream media, and we never will. But like for me personally, like that's a crisis that needs to be addressed. Dearborn, Michigan, that town in Texas, the Chinese trying to come in and buy up all the farmland so they control all the food processes. The Chinese that are they have access to 401k plans, retirement plans, where they invest into these plans. So then they have a say. They have investments into the public education system where they have a say in what is being taught. The Chinese. Like, we need to stop painting the outside of this circle as a rosy picture and actually break inside of it and see what the hell is really going on in all these different places and become America first. Like, I know it sounds crazy and I sound like I am just like going off the deep end here, but I promise you I'm not. And these are things that I research before I ever talk about them, because I'm not going to read a Google or a Wikipedia insert and be like, oh, wow, that's what's really happening. So I look as many places as I can. I study as many things as I can. I watch as many things as I can before I make a determination on like, okay, this is really what's happening. So that's the thing that this week has really been weighing heavy on me as far as what I thought we should be talking about.
Well, you started this with the government shutdown, and we wrapped around to the Muslim communities. I've got no problem with the Muslim community, but again, it's one thing to have the Catholic Church ring the bells. It's another thing to have prayers over speaker system that are aggravating other citizens. There's freedom of religion, and I respect that. I don't care if you're Muslim. The radicals I care about, but if you're not breaking the law, you're not breaking the law. I think we have been the only way that the United States can lose its sovereignty is from the enemy within. And based on a lot of the things you said, just reinforces that the enemy is already here.
And if you say that, wow, you're a racist and a bigot. You know what I mean? Enemy within. You're Hitler.
I'm already a racist bigot because people are like, where are you from? Eastern Kentucky. That where you live? Yes, you're racist.
And you're
Fuck
white.
you.
Yeah, and you're white. So
well,
yeah. And one more thing I want to say, I know we're cutting close to, we're actually over our time. The reason this shutdown is taking place is because AOC right now in polls has 55% of support and Chuck Schumer is at like in the low 30s. So he knows he runs against her, he's going to lose. And that will put her in charge of that party. And then, oh my God, how crazy will it be? So anyway.
Well, how long do you think this shutdown is going to last? Because now you see what Trump's doing. Trump has the power with he can start cutting jobs. He can start.
I can't believe that they're so stupid to know this and still do this. Like,
And still, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are so stupid. I give it another, I say a minimum, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, because I think they're going out of town for the weekend. But I think I expect this to be 2 weeks or so because they've made commitments. We're in for the long haul because they're still getting paid, so they don't care.
Well, there is a vote going on, I believe, right now, or will be shortly. They're going to try again to get this extension done.
I hope so. We'll see. Don't give in. Don't give them anything. Like, they did this, and it sucks, but we didn't do it. So, all right. That's a great talk. I know I got a little wound up there, but I appreciate it. Thanks for
A
listening.
little bit. Bang, bang.
You hear this all the time, but again, we're fully dressed. We're going to be coming to you weekly here on out. He's a big UK.
A month from tomorrow.
My middle child went to UK, so I support them as well. Go Cats. But we appreciate you listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. And God bless you all. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. May be blessed beyond measure. And we'll see you very soon and very often. Peace out.
Theme song.
All right. Later, guys. See you soon.